The NASCAR Busch Grand National Series drivers were scheduled to have this past weekend off, but a rainout on May 18th of the Granger Select 400 at Hickory, North Carolina was run this past weekend. Chuck Bowen had won the pole, but just like in Winston Cup racing, there's some major changes going on among personnel. Dan?
Well, Ned, the big story here was a major driver change. Elton Sawyer was relieved of his duties driving the 27 car. Ward Burton now gets that opportunity. Ward, this is definitely a big break for you.
Well, it really is, and I tell you, A.J. Dillard's got some super equipment and he's got a good team. And I just got to buckle in there and turn it around.
Champion Chuck Bowen sat on the pole for the Granger Select 400, but his problem started on lap 1 with an apparent transmission problem. Butch Miller left the race on lap 15 when he hit the front stretch wall. At the same time, Jack Ingram, who's won 2 track championships at Hickory and is on his farewell tour, suffered a flat tire. He retired only 3 laps later. On the restart, Cecil Eunice got loose and spun in turn 1. Everyone got by and the race continued. In the meantime, Robert Presley was doing his best untouchable act as he led 157 circuits with Steve Grissom waiting in the shadows. On lap 41, Bobby Dotter and David Green tangled in turn 1. No serious damage, both drivers were able to continue. On lap 63, Troy Beebe spun in turn 4. When he pulled away, he hit the gas a little too hard, but got away safely. On lap 160, Robert Presley and Steve Grissom slowed to enter the pits when Ed Ferree spun directly behind them. This brought out the 8th of 11 cautions on the day. More importantly, though, it opened the door for Jimmy Hensley, who took the lead and shut the door behind him. Dave Rezendes had his problems all evening with an oil leak that eventually forced him to quit 132 laps into the race. On lap 217, rookie Jeff Green had an accident, and he too faced early retirement. Jimmy Hensley looked in the mirror and saw a pair of rookies beating down on him. David Green and Jeff Gordon were doing everything possible to pass the Virginia gentleman. With 17 laps remaining, David Green got a little anxious and spun out in turn 1. He continued and eventually finished 14th. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon got the green light, but couldn't catch Hensley, who got his second win of the season. Points leader Bobby Labonte finished 3rd with Ed Barrier 4th and Steve Grissom rounding out the top 5. The victory was special for Jimmy Hensley, who still searches for that all-important sponsor.
Anytime you can win a Grand National race, you know, when it's here, Martinsville or wherever, it's a big accomplishment. And, you know, we got a great team. We've struggled a little bit this year, you know, without sponsorship. But I think, you know, we keep rising back to the top. And that's a sign of a good team. And hopefully we can keep going and maybe get us some help here down the road.